Now, we're going to start off pretty quickly with two houses here that don't have insides, but I thought were worth showing anyway. First up, we've got Malaik on plot number 21, and I included this here because of how well they have put all of these little flowers and trees and other things growing onto their house, and the effort that they put into making it look as though all of these were like sprouting out of the ground around the house. With the addition of this cool stone pathway to the fountain here, you can see that this is the beginning of something that is really cool. Up next, we got Panktwo on plot number 20, and this is like the exact opposite. Instead of all of these beautiful flowers growing along, we have this big dead tree and a lot of things covered in cobwebs. I think the sort of haunted grove vibe is pretty cool. This was originally put together for the Architects of Azeroth Discord, but everything got wiped when the PTR went through its little glitch phase. I put these little horns and this dark orb around this monk statue here, which I think gave a pretty cool look. I'm a fan of the overturned fountain, and if we go past the Night Elf cover here around to the back, we can see some secret gallows, stockade thingy, and some coffins. So yeah, just two quick outside-only ones before we get to the real deal. At number 7 here, we've got Aedonia on plot number 34, and already I am loving the way that they have built this sort of stone path throughout their plot here. I like that these plants are sort of strung about, almost as if the plot has just begun to grow, like a garden is beginning to form. We can see the same with this moonwell here, where we've got these plants sprouting around it, and while this outside was a work in progress, I do think it shows a strong vision for what's going to be here, right? You can already sort of picture what this is going to look like when the player has a little more time and a higher outside budget to put things together. We of course got to check this gazebo view, and by the way, this gazebo is part of the plot itself, which is actually pretty cool, doesn't cost against your room budget. And inside is where we see a lot of the dedication that this player has put in. Aedonia has taken this large, open floor plan layout, which I think fits really nice with the Night Elf aesthetic. They have this giant tree they used to live in, they got a lot of space, you know? I particularly like the lighting of the inside here. The Night Elf lampposts, as well as some glowing lamps and crystals, create this really nice atmosphere, this nice ambiance. In the kitchen, we can see that these countertops have been combined with other items to make this cool floating bar here in the middle, and we can see that keg item being put to good use, sized up to make it look like it's holding a lot of something. And if we take a look at the other furnished room, we can see the beginnings of a great Night Elf bedroom. We have the Druid Order book here, as well as a lot of different Night Elf tokens. You can see the start of a closet in the back here that's going to be filled out and furnished. I love the addition of the Night Elf divider here right by the dressers, and of course we've got to check, and yes, this bedroom does have a bath. Great work from Aedonia here on the start of their Night Elf home. Up next at number 6, we've got Cynriene on plot number 10, and I love the way that this fits the sort of darker Duskwood atmosphere that is available in the Alliance neighborhood. The addition of all of these plants around the outer edge of the home helps it merge well with the plot. In the back here, we've got a cute little chicken coop. I love the chicken coop. As we look at the back of the house, we can feel this sort of purple glow that I believe the player has gotten by hiding lighting items in the floor, which is awesome, by the way. I hope to see more of that used in the future. And as we come past this gazebo, admire its view, we can go across the stone path past this fountain, which the player said was a work in progress as well, and they were planning to flesh out once this goes live. The overgrowth over the side of the house is a really nice touch, and it helps to make this house feel like it's been here a long time, that Cynriene didn't just place it here today, even though they did. And hey, if you're liking these housing showcases, don't forget to subscribe, it helps the channel a lot. And while you're down there, make sure to leave a comment telling me about your favorite plot on today's list. Make sure to give tons of praise to the person that you choose. Now inside is where things get really nice. First of all, the chandeliers across the rooftop are incredible, and we get to see here the use of the dye system. Most of these items are not originally blue, but Cynriene here has dyed all of them blue so that they can fit this sort of higher elf Kaldorei aesthetic that they were going for. Normally you see purple associated, but the blue looks almost more royal in a way. The kitchen here is very well laid out. I love the spices and the fruits that we've seen in a lot of other homes, and of course we have to check. And yes, it does have a bathroom, although what makes this bathroom unique is how they've made the little toilet, by making this little night elf tent over a stool, which makes it look like a sort of inside outhouse, an in-house in a way. In the back corner here, we've got a very nice looking reading nook. Again, these blues go together so well. The addition of the pillows on the countertop there, as though you could sit on that bar by the windowsill and read. And although the other rooms are not yet furnished, we do get to see a furnished bedroom here. I think the moonwell in the bedroom is a nice touch. You know, the stereotype of like splashing your face with cold water in the morning. Imagine doing that with moonwell water. And we get to see this night elf bed that has been dyed. I am assuming that the texture glitchiness is something that will be fixed in the future. Really nice work from Cynriene here to show off not just a great layout for their house, not just all the cool night elf items, but also the way that the dye system can be used to change how these items feel. Up next at number 5, we've got Thithisel on plot number 2. And this one's really cool because they've actually created this sort of 2-layer fence for their house. You can see we're going into the inside of the fence, past this fountain and the doghouse, but you'll also get to see Thithisel themselves walking along the outside of the fence, and they do have a stone path going across the outer area as well. It's a really cool way to divide up the plot between 2 different areas that you could decorate separately. The private gazebo here is a great place to sit around and read, and on the back of the house, I have to give kudos to the way that they have made all of these little vines and other plants grow along that trellis there up into the house, and that's something that they did say they were going to expand on in the future. In the back corner, we of course have an outhouse, but inside is where we see some amazing things. First, I love houses that make a use of this stairway room as their opening. I think it's so cool. The fireplace area here feels very homey, and this cool purple crystal thing that gives off light fits really well with the night elf vibe. And I like how underneath this stairway here, we've got all the storage and different other supplies. It's a cool place to put it all, and I think it fits the atmosphere very well. As we climb the stairs, if we were to look behind us, we can see this cool shelf on the wall here that's been furnished with some books and a candle. Really nice touch, something you only see on your way back down. That painting there, by the way, is apparently crooked on purpose to add some personality to the wall. And up top here, we can see a custom room layout that Thithisel has made. They've used the night elf walls to make a partitioning of this room that allows them to break it up into 3 separate rooms, which is a great way to go about using this space. Each of the 3 rooms has a different, unique bed, and behind the divider over here, we can see the bathroom that is shared between all of them. It gives this sort of family home vibe, where we have 3 different bedrooms that share the bathroom and all have a meal downstairs together. And while Thithisel said they planned to add more furnishings in the future, I think given the downstairs, you can definitely see where a lot of this is going to go. You can see the vibes that they're going for, this sort of home sweet home, but it's a night elf home type feel, which I think goes really well with a lot of the items that we had on the PTR. Now at number 4, we've got Nightlighter on plot number 2. And already we can see these really cool night elf big like archways that you can incorporate. To the left here, we've got that blue night elf flag, which I believe is the exact flag from Warsong Gulch. In fact, I believe that's how you get it. And then we get to look at their home, and man, it's so cool how they've incorporated the night elf little canopy things into the house itself. And I love seeing that giant tree grow out of it, as though the house itself was built around the tree. It's very, very cool. Over here, we've got the classic moonwell area with these 3 stones and the large moonwell in the middle. It looks like something Blizzard themselves would put together, like you'd find in the old Dark Shore. It's a great addition. And here we can see a little fawn. I love that little animals can walk along your plot, especially if they're gonna be little baby deers. Especially for these night elf themed plots, the addition of the wild animals walking around really helps with the overall vibe and feel, like it's one with nature. This isn't disrupting the area around it, it is part of the area. And let's get a good side view of the house here, where we can see how cool it is to incorporate the canopy in that way. I like how they've positioned the tree to perfectly come out of the Mage Tower extension from the house, and I like how they have different tents at different levels of depth outside of their house to create this sort of different room type feel. And that, along with the way that they have positioned these different plants and vines, help really frame that opening of the house. Very good work. And something really cool that Nightlighter has done with their plot is they have made the inside match the outside, which we'll get to in just a moment, but first I have to appreciate this Moonwell trellis combo that they have on the sides of the walls here with the flower growing out of it. It's a cool way to combine those items together. We have a bathroom to the side here, of course, with a custom toilet made by clipping a chair and a stool together. Nice addition to any bathroom, I think. Honestly, one of my favorite things is seeing all the clever ways that everyone makes a toilet. There are so many different ways to do it, and all of them are unique. And then we come into the main room here, and we get to see the base of that tree that was growing out on the outside. Nightlighter has made the inside match the outside. The branches are all going in the right direction. This crystal providing lighting, and of course these carpets all around it to make this sort of communal seating area around the center tree of the home. The kitchen is, of course, fully furnished. We've got this food on the table here, and I like how they've made this sort of bar cooking area. Especially the way that they have put all of these tiny little items on the back here on the different shelves to make it feel like this is a kitchen in use, that these items have been placed here for convenience and that someone is using this to cook something every day. As we pass by this giant tree once again, we can see that the middle room here is this giant, like, glowing moonwell room. These bushes and trees and windows that line the outer layer provide this cool, glowing lighting to the room, and they've positioned that tiny little seed you get from the Druid Order Hall above the moonwell to give it this sort of enchanted vibe, making it feel like this seed is somehow important, somehow magical, maybe even another world tree seed. It's a very cool way to combine what is otherwise a kind of insignificant item to prop it up and give it this amazing, magical, larger-than-life feel. And finally, we have the bedroom, which first of all has this beautiful reading nook here. I love the use of the lighting from the window and this cool book placed on the desk as though this is actively in use. In the back corner, we've got the actual bed with a nice little light and a chest along with it. Feels very cozy and private there. And then we have a private bathroom for the bedroom as well. We've got the wardrobe, we've got the mirror, and of course we've got the bathtub and the sink behind the divider. Really nice work from Nightlighter here, and again, I particularly love the way that this giant tree has been incorporated into both the inside and the outside. Now at number 3, we've got Twuely on plot number 15, and something really cool about these last 3 plots is that all of them knew each other. These were all next to each other and made by people who were actually friends. I love the way that they have used these trees to sort of mark out the perimeter of their plot, making it sort of private in theirs, how it's incorporated into the forest, but also separate from it. Now, one thing that is stellar about this plot is this separated area to the side here. We can see that they've used bushes to create this sort of private sequestered area, and as we come around, we can see that it is a lovely little relaxing area. The fountain here alongside all of these chairs and the large bed in the back make it feel as though this is a private garden that is meant to be enjoyed, a place where you are meant to come and sit down and relax and just sort of take in the ambiance. And if we happen to look behind some of the bushes over here, we can see a lovely little chicken coop! Chicken coop is always a bonus in my book. And inside the plot, things get even better. We can see another giant tree centerpiece, which I think is a great addition to any Night Elf home. If we come to the side, we see this lovely fireplace with these little pillows around it, making a nice seating area where you can relax together. We've got the start of a kitchen to the right here. Twuely did say that this was a work in progress. Now, as we move past the centerpiece tree, we can see one thing that I really appreciate about Twuely's house is how they have moved the stones into the floor so that you still get that stone aesthetic, but your camera isn't bumping up and down as you walk over them. Thank you very much for that little feature, Twuely. Now, as we come past this Moonwell purple corner here, we can see this. I think this stairwell room is beautiful. I love the way that these candles provide mood lighting, how that couch is so inviting. You just want to sit there and take in all of the nature around you. It's a really cool way to frame that room. And of course, as we head up the stairs, we can see that the plants continue upward from the center, that it's not just for show down below, that it actually extends all the way to the top. The top here is the starting of a storage area. We've got these beautiful chests strewn about, but there's actually something else about the bottom stairway that I want to show you. There's actually a special additional feature here that I bet you didn't notice. If we come right to the right here, past the couch and past the bushes, we can see a little secret path. And if we follow the secret path behind, we end up in a secret, sequestered bedroom. Complete, of course, with the perfect candle mood lighting. This back area here is amazing. It would feel so good to have this as your bedroom, to be able to sit back and relax in this private little nook in the back, surrounded by all of these trees, all of this shrubbery, and of course, including this amazing mood lighting. Is it a fire hazard? Maybe, but that's a risk that we're willing to take for rooms that look this good. Now, at number 2 here, we've got Theodore on plot number 18, and you'll see why when we head inside, but first, let's appreciate how they've made this sort of haunted, darker feeling for their outside aesthetic. I like that they took the Duskwood area and instead of trying to make it beautiful to stand out, they decided to incorporate it. We can see a lot of use of these darker tones, these more muted colors for the flowers and the other plants so that it fits with the surrounding. The gazebo in the back here has these beautiful flowers in front and a great view of the ocean down below. And again, I really appreciate the degree to which this home has decided to fit itself within the aesthetic. That this home feels kind of like one of those creepy cabins that you would expect in Duskwood. To the side here, we can see some coffins, and I did check, yes, that coffin is empty, which might be a good thing, might be a bad thing, depending on how you feel about dead walking. And to the right of the home, we've got this private, sequestered little fountain area that has all of these little plants growing around it in a way that helps to frame it. Now inside, I mean, look at this. Once again, a great use of the dyes to make all of these items match. I do like the more traditional purple night elf aesthetic, but this house is really, really good. We've got this overgrowth in the corner here. The way that those upside down trees in the back there help to frame the entranceway into the next room. I love how cozy and inviting this area around the fireplace is. We've got the cushions on the floor as though someone has been living here. And Theodore is very skilled when it comes to using plants to frame things. I like the little flowers on top of the fireplace, but also how the potted plants around it help to give it this defined shape. And if we go into the stairwell room, look at this centerpiece. It's so good. All of these different plants incorporated together. If we look to the left, we have a fountain that looks just as good. All of these plants looking as though they grew naturally out of the running water. Underneath the stairwell, we have this kitchen area that has been sequestered off and made private. I like the use of the wash bin in the back and all of those tiny little spices on the tables. Taking another look at this centerpiece, it is amazing. Those couches in front of it, by the way, are a custom combination of different items that you couldn't tell if you didn't already know. And of course, as we head up, we can see that all of these trees and different plants, it continues the full way up. We have these private little reading nooks that are accentuated by that centerpiece. And in the back here, we can see once again another beautifully framed fireplace here. I love the red coming down from the ceiling, the way that it sort of envelops. The bedroom to the right here makes excellent use of the space. I like the curtains covering the windows so that you still get that lighting, but it feels more private. And I like the way that they've dyed the carpet in the bed to all match the theme together. Very well done. And of course, on the opposite side, we've got a bathroom with, once again, another custom toilet, this time made by incorporating a wash basin into a chair. And once again, the use of these upside down trees coming down from the ceiling is a really nice way to frame the sort of bath that he has going here. It's an excellent technique to add a little bit of flair and pizzazz to the plants that they've got here. And on the banister at the top of the stairs, we have another beautiful reading area that fits so well with the rest of the aesthetic. The inside of Theodore's home here is such a good use of the dyes and the different Night Elf Kaldorei items to create this sort of merge between the nature aspect of the Night Elves and their civilization aspect. It doesn't feel like these two things are clashing, it feels like they are in harmony with one another, that it is both of these ideas at the same time. And finally, at number 1, we've got Nyxiva on plot number 2. And this one is incredible. First of all, this whole outside area is just begging to be a wallpaper. In fact, I actually did make a wallpaper of this, and it will be in the description down below if you want. It loops perfectly, and you get to hear all of the natural ambiance of this plot. To the right here, we can see this lovely giant fountain with Theodore sitting on top of it, and one thing that this plot does quite well is separating all the different areas so that they all feel unique. In a way, the use of dividers here makes the plot feel larger than it actually is. Even though all of the plots are the same size, the fact that this has been sectioned off in such a way makes it feel larger, makes it feel as though this person has access to more room. One thing that Nyxiva has done exceptionally well across this plot is making all of the different items and plants feel naturally placed, feel as though they are a natural way that this would look. In fact, in a way, this whole plot looks like something Blizzard would make. It looks professionally done. And then we get to the inside, and I mean, this blew me away. First of all, this nature walkway as you head in is such a good way to sort of get you into the vibe of the home. And then this centerpiece here. Look at the way that they've layered all of these different plant and flower items, how they've used the moonwell and the different lighting to create this magical centerpiece. We've got this cute, elevated reading nook area right next to the window, which looks amazing, complete with a little cobweb in the corner there. We just have to look at this centerpiece a little more. I mean, it is incredible from every side, and back behind it, we can see a little eating area with, of course, we've got all of these plants continuing to grow. Past the centerpiece one more time, we then get into the stairwell room, and here, all of it continues even more. I love this little nook area in the side here, next to the tiny fireplace with the tea and the desk there. It's a great little study area, and just behind it is a storage area where we can see a couple of things on the shelves, everything getting put together as we speak. And behind that, we've got this reading area with this tea and this book, nice and sequestered, giving this really cozy feel. And one thing this plot is exceptional with is the way that there are somehow plants everywhere, and yet it doesn't feel overgrown. It doesn't feel like a bunch of sterile plants that one player has placed one by one. They all feel like natural growth. They all seem like exactly how these plants should have grown, how they should have been incorporated. It looks beautiful. We've got the classic trees coming down from the ceiling, and we've got another overgrowth corner, which I love every one of these. They're all completely unique, and yet they all fit into their area. This bath area in particular looks like such a calm and relaxing place to take a bath. I love the way that it's framed with the different trees. And then we look at the bedroom. And I mean, look at that. How would you not want that as your bedroom? That looks amazing. The moonwell and the light post to the side here, again, giving that feeling of the sort of water that you use to wake yourself up. We've got more growth to the right here, complete with a bench to sit down and enjoy. And then this bed here is incredible. What a majestic looking bed. And we've got to see it from its point of view. I mean, once you're laying here and looking out, look at that view. I mean, you sleep here, you feel like a king, right? You feel like you're in charge of everything. You're on top of the world. This is an incredible Night Elf home. Every single inch of this, from top to bottom, is perfectly laid out. Everywhere you look, there's a plant growing somewhere, there's an accent somewhere, there's even little pillows on the stairs to give that feeling that someone has been living here. Nyxiva has done such a stellar job of showing off what can be done with the Night Elf aesthetic items that were on the PTR, and of course, do keep in mind that this is the PTR. In the future, there may be even more Night Elf themed items for them to make use of, but as it is already, this centerpiece is gorgeous, the stairwell room is gorgeous, that upstairs bedroom is amazing, absolutely perfect. This is the perfect Night Elf home. Amazing work here from Nyxiva.